access it. So this is our big players, right? For the back pain and things that we're normally being called upon to do. By doing something big here and moving organs, all that impulse is going to go back to that area. It's not going to be local, it's going to be regional. The effects, you're not just affecting one particular little area with visceral. So it's, at the very least, it's like you're dropping a small depth charge in there. How big, we can talk about. So I don't have something to isolate a particular muscle or a particular band. It's more like a region of the body to try and override abnormal somatic signals. So let's talk about the liver. This is where we're going to start. I'm going to take you up to mobilization, but we're actually going to start with motility. I want to wait till you eat lunch, big lunch, pack it in, extra rice, and you're going to see it's not a problem. So the liver is held up by ligaments, okay? We call this a coronary ligament that goes across the top that holds it to the diaphragm. It ends up in a right and left triangular ligament. You have this falciform ligament that bifurcates between the right. We're just going to consider it with two lobes, right and left. We can consider it four lobes, caudate and quadrate, but for our purposes, there's that what we're going to commonly use, and this what we're going to less commonly use. So this is holding it up tight. What's this doing? Does this stabilize it in any way? You look like a little bunny rabbit. Very cute here. You just need the ears up here. Funny. So, what was my question? I said something. Does this stabilize at all, falciform ligament?
Medial umbilical ligament, it is written. It is written that medial umbilical ligament.
What about it? Say it again, say the whole sentence.
It is continued with medial umbilical ligament.
I have to give you a prize because you're very smart.
No, it is written there. I read
God
from.
damn it.
I read from.
I give you a prize anyway. You can have his
Yeah,
one.
thank you so much.
Okay. I gotta stop writing my hints on the board. Eventually it's gonna be continuous with your other into the pelvis. Otherwise this would flop around. It's held up top. You know when someone ties something onto their car, they tie it really good in the front of the car, but not the back, and it's doing this. And you don't want this flopping around. Why? Hmm? Yes, you're reading words to me, part, but why don't you want it flopping around? If 20% of your body's blood in here, that's why you don't want it flopping around.
Yes.
You don't want to lacerate your liver. So you want it held in place. Okay, mobility, motility. In the osteopathic profession, if you're going to go start reading people's books, you're going to say, well, why are we doing this motility and that, not that motility? So I'm doing things that are clinically relevant. In my opinion, things have now grown in the seminar world where if you want to talk about visceral, take level 1, 2, 3, 4, 27, 38 until you're just running out of money, talking about ridiculous things that have zero value. I just took last year, just because we need to get credits the same as you do for your license or your CME. So I spent $2,000 for a course before the big convention, just so I could hang out with my friends. And it was Jean-Pierre Barral's latest thing, The Brain. What a complete waste of $2,000.
Oh my God.
Entire thing was him drawing on the board. Half the course was him drawing a brain. Well, you don't need that. We all went to medical school.
Yes.
Put up a picture of the brain and talk about it. I don't need to watch. See, they're mostly in the massage world, so massage people are all impressed by you drawing things. And I think he's very good. He's not in my category of great, and he's definitely one of these people that will just milk every dime out of people. Our entire 4-day course, I think we did about 9 techniques, plus half of it was drawing on the board. And then we held the brain, and he said, now I'm affecting that gyrus of the brain. Now I'm affecting that gyrus of the brain. Now I'm affecting that one. sitting with one friend and one new friend. One friend who's an MD, who's been doing manipulation, he's got 10 years on me, and one lady who's a neurologist, a super neurologist. She asked Baral a question that he couldn't answer. Not to attack him, but he's not a physician. She asked him a question, he couldn't answer it, and he went on the offensive because he couldn't answer it. And she said, this is ridiculous. But we paid our money, we got our continuing education, I got 0 out of it. 25 years ago, Baral did these things, and it's good. He used to write in his book, if you have the first edition, that expeer meant, if they have an expeer problem, it's an attachment problem, inspire, it's an inherent organ problem. Subsequent editions of the book, gone, disappeared, because no one could substantiate that. I don't experience that. So these books, they're not Bibles, they're not, it's not the Quran. It's people's experience. So what I'm telling you is there's a lot of people now, if you Google visceral, you're going to get a billion zillion hits. What I'm showing you, I use with patients. That's it. I think there is other stuff out there. I don't know whether it's useful. I don't know whether people are just creating it in their head for the people that are going to go to seminars until they die because they need to substantiate who they are. So there are overlapping rhythms. Everything I'm going to do, it has to have some relevance or I'm not doing it. Mobility, this is based on normal physiology as you encounter it. So when you have a patient who's had a hemicolectomy, all bets are off. You don't know exactly where things are laying in there, but you can feel it. You can feel it, you can feel where restrictions are. So when things are changed due to trauma, surgery, infection, you develop the technique based on what you're palpating. We're going to the table in exactly 3.5 minutes. Any questions so far? Okay, this is motility. This is what I said you're going to feel. How will you know if you're feeling liver motility? You're going to know it by the rate. If you say 4 or 5 seconds one way, 4 or 5 seconds another way. If I see your hand moving, again, your hand will move because they're breathing in and out. It shouldn't actually be moving with the motility. You should feel it though. So this is motility broken down into 3 planes. This is what's happening. One plane might be more palpable than another. I think this is what most of you are going to feel. You're going to feel some inferior, superior movement easier than you'll feel the transverse to the sagittal plane, the bulging movement. The way we're going to do it, I'm using my favorite Korean model, Jinku, and I did learn what that word means now. But that was his name, so I'll tolerate none of your silly laughter. Open your fingers. You're going to go across and cover as much of the liver as you can. I'm treating many more women than men. There's no reason to be near anyone's breast. The liver is ginormous. I just need to be near it to pick up the rhythm. Okay, and a normal person is going down to the costal margin. Some of you, I'm sure, in this room, it's below the costal margin. Mine, sometimes it's below, sometimes it's above. And then you're going to squeeze. You're not going to do that. You're just going to have half the weight of your hand. If it's motility, it's a light feeling you're trying to feel. If it's mobility, we're going to be using muscle rustle. That's coming. Oh, is it coming? Okay, so let's just take a 5-minute break now. Gotta go to the bathroom, chill, whatever, and then I'm going to demonstrate at the table. 5-minute break.